Hello and welcome to Tiszaújváros, Hungary for the latest stop on the World Triathlon World Cup series. The race today is a sprint distance with a really strong field, women's field assembled, including previous world champion, we've got multiple World Cup winners, we've got a world junior champion, all looking to take on this fast and furious course. We've got 30 athletes racing today. We had the semi-finals yesterday, which decided which athletes were going to be coming into this final today. And there we have that start list. Marlene Gomez-Gergel leading them out. Annabelle Knoll. Got 3 Germans up there in the top 5. Again, just reiterating that strength and depth that they have. Zuzana Mikhalkova, so she just missed out on going to the games, but she's a young athlete, so you feel like she has more chance. Anahai Alvarez Corral from Mexico, incredibly fast runner. Charlotte McShane from Australia making it through, as is Kira Hedgeland. Sophia Howell, another strong swimmer there from Canada. We've got a really lot of good strong swimmers, and I think in this kind of course it's so tight and twisty, you really need that fast swim. Here we go with a quick look at the course. So the swim is 3 laps of 750 meters. You don't often get 3 laps on the swim, so really tight and twisty. Then out onto the bike, and it's 20 kilometers on the bike. That's 8 laps of 2.5 kilometers. So really only one dead turn there, but quite twisty, lots of 90-degree turns. So the course is really pretty fast, apart from that one dead turn, which does kind of tend to slow them down. And then going on to the run, it is 4 laps of the run, 1.25 kilometres. Slightly different course that the juniors undertook earlier. They've just got a slight little dog leg at one point on there, which is a great out and back section for those athletes to get a good look at where they are.
On your marks.
Looked like a clean start. We did see a false start earlier in the junior race, so me and Ali both anticipating something then, but it looked like everyone was away safely.
Yeah, definitely. Nice clean start there for the girls. And a tough swim awaits them. Only 750 metres, but 3 laps, so it's a tight course. You really want to aim for a good, clear start and to get a little bit of a break. So by the time you hit that first buoy, you've got some space, because it can get incredibly choppy and messy around those buoys at time, particularly when they come so quickly after the pontoon.
But it's Weber who looks like she's hit that buoy first with number 10 on her arm. And Janet Couture-Bragma, she went for the other end of the pontoon from the other athlete, so looking to get a bit of clear water, but she hasn't managed to get that super fast start to be at the front, but she's a very strong athlete. We might see her kind of work her way through as these laps continue.
Olivia Matthias is leading the swim, and she's managed to do a pretty good job of splitting it all up. As we can see now, athletes really sort of all over the place. We haven't got that long chain. They've kind of spread out quite a bit now.
Really spread out, yeah. We see a couple of athletes right at the back on their own, so it's going to, see, on this kind of course when it's 8 laps, there's the potential to be lapped out if you don't have a good swim.
Definitely. Yeah, you're safe on the run, aren't you? But if you're lapped on the bike, it's game over.
And I think Janet Bragma is going to, I think we're going to have a big push from her. I reckon she's going to want to lead this swim out. I think it's that, that home kind of a thing, isn't it? You want to be the first one out the water. It looks like she's just pushing her way up there into the lead. Sosinski's swum over to them now, so good swim from her. She's managed to close down that gap. So with the German triathlon team, there's so many strong women. It's just a battle for them even to get into a World Championship Series, which is why we see some athletes of such high standard. I guess they can't make it into the World Series, so we're seeing them on the World Cup all the time, which is great if you're a fan of watching the World Cup.
That is the Hungarian athlete. Just having a look, Charlotte McShane from Australia.
There we have them just heading out. So Bragmeier, Couture-Bragmeier, and Annabelle Knoll was actually one of the athletes who did a really good swim. So great from Annabelle Knoll. Sian Ringsley's up there. Looks like this group could go. There's Alona Hadoum as well from France. So she's World Junior Champion from last year. She's been in great shape all season. Had an injury early on, but it seems to have recovered. So there's Vicky Holland. She knows she's close. She must be excited. She knows she's going to kind of really push over to get to the gap, but it's going to be hard. Matthias Couture-Bragma at the front. They might try and have a go. They might try and push this on. But I think this is exciting for these 2 athletes. They're not afraid to work hard. They're not going to be afraid to go for it, even though those athletes are kind of closing in a little bit behind them. Doom, Rainsley.
Yeah,
they need to work together, that group of 5, to kind of chase back on.
Holland, Jeff Coat just going around the corner as well. A couple of the German athletes.
Well, there's Summer Rappaport. So she hasn't made it over with that group, and she was so close. And it's tactically now, so they're halfway through the bike. It's for some of those runners in there, like, where do you sit, isn't it? For Vicky Holland, I mean, she knows she's in great run shape, so she doesn't want to be at the front of the bike pushing on. There's probably no point. Save everything she can for the run. She's got some fast runners to go up against. Gomez Gurgel is obviously in there. Annika Koch has been running really well, had some great World Cup results last year as well. Oh yeah, so a lot in there. So it's a warm day out there. You see some of the athletes are putting water over themselves to try and keep themselves cool. Temperatures over 30 degrees.
Look at Summer Rappaport there. She's allowed herself to go right off the back of the group, and then she has to work. Every time she's doing that, she's having to work hard to get back on, and it might only be a few meters, but she enters an energy system that she doesn't need to be in if she'd have just stayed on someone's wheel.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the hardest parts about this style of triathlon racing, is that constant surging of power and recovering, surging of power and recovering. It's not a steady state 40-kilometre bike or 20-kilometre in this case today. There's so many power spikes in there, and your ability to tolerate that is what kind of not so much lets you stay in the group, but lets you run well later on. When you get deep into the run, when you're coming down to that run battle at the end, you want to be able to know it's how you've coped with the power on the bike. That's when that kind of thing can come into play. So last timing split, we were at 53 seconds. We might be just tipping over that minute for these chasers. Got Pintanel there from Spain. I really would have expected her to be up there. Strong runner. She's all round pretty solid athlete.
This chase group now.
Yeah, just over a minute it was.
Just over a minute, so it hasn't it? It's grown substantially now.
Just that excitement for the athletes. They're coming in with that kind of noise hitting them as they're coming through transition. It was Dana Bragmeyer at the front, so good from her again. With her first into transition. Annika Koch's right up there, so is Erica Ackerland. Abby Levi had a great race. Really solid all through the bike. Noel and Marlene Gurgel, they were kind of towards the back. They just struggling a little bit there through transition.
So it looks like it's
Annika Koch there coming down for second. Erica Lackland's just 2 tenths in her last 2 World Cups. She's just done Boulder 70.3, so kind of mixing it with the longer stuff as well.
That's interesting. I think the 70.3 we're just seeing now, our chase pack coming through. Koenig is there. Summer Rappaport thankfully has managed to stay on this chase group. I mean, she's got a great run, that she's got potential to be able to run through some of this or pull something back along here. Vicky Holland, Sean Rainsley. Yeah, Koch has experience, doesn't she?
Yeah.
You know, so it could be easy to say she's gone out hard, but as you said, she's won in hot conditions before. So it's a
great first lap for her.
Yeah, really, really good. She's working hard though. 58 seconds back. Olivia Mathias, Janet Bragmeyer. There's a little 13 seconds. This is an interesting run, isn't it? It's 5 kilometres. It's 4 laps, so it's broken down to 1,250 metres per lap, which
I think mentally that's quite nice, like breaking it down.
I was just thinking, I think it's a little bit tough actually. I start thinking of doing reps on a track, kilometre, and thinking, oh no, this is. But yeah, it does break it down. I think they're going to fly by. Koch at the moment looks pretty unbeatable out in front. Vicky Holland sitting in second place.
She's got a little bit of a buffer. I mean, 7 seconds, it's not too bad. It's doable, isn't it?
It is. She's but Vicky Holland is looking ever closer, composed, relaxed shoulders. Koch's pumping fairly hard. The camera angle sometimes can sort of foreshorten the gap, but it does look to me like Vicky Holland is pushing something back, and there's still a little way to go on this 5 kilometre run, and Vicky Holland looks to be running herself right back into this race now.
She does, and then from behind as well, we've got Isakova, Erica Ackerland. This is a good race for Ackerland as well. Oh, it's close now. 2 seconds, so a great 2 laps from Holland to have brought that in. So we're going to get a battle over the last lap.
That's what we like.
And it looks like we'll have one for bronze as well, with Isakova and Ackland kind of they're 14 seconds down on that second place, so it looks like those two are going to be there. But I don't know if Ringsley and Haduma have dropped off quite a bit now.
Pushing this
She is. She looks like she knows she's there, and she's not going to let her in, is she? She's not going to give her an easy pass. It'd be tempting now to maybe let Holland can the Haas and maybe sit in for a bit, but she wants to stay in control.
And it would be easy to do. You're working so hard. You had a big gap. That gap is closed now. You know, rather than just running home for the victory, you got to battle all the way. And she's pushing out of the corner. Fair play to the German athlete.
This is great racing.
But how much is this going to take her out? How much is this going to take it out of her if it does come down to a sprint finish?
And she's going to go and do some work to get onto the podium, to get past Isakova. Holland got right back onto it, and then Annika Koch has kind of lifted it up another gear. Just amazing.
I think Vicky had to work pretty hard to get back onto her.
Look at this, Ackland's going for it. Ackland's not leaving it to the sprint. She's trying to take it out a bit early.
The pain is etched all over her face. Breathing hard, and she comes home now. What a wonderful victory.
What a wonderful victory. Amazing, like solid all-round performance, just executed perfectly on the run. And Vicky Holland, another World Cup podium though. She's got to be happy with that. And Isakova from Russia, neutral, used to be Russia, neutral athlete, coming there with the third place. Not been racing on the World Triathlon circuit for a couple of years. She looks happy with that. Erika Ackland, she gave it everything, didn't she, to get past her.
Sure
but
did.
That's a really solid fourth position and a step up in form.
Strong finish from Sian Rainsley now, coming home to take 5th place. Klammer in 6th.
Third World Cup in 3 years. How do you feel?
Yeah, it was a really tough race, and at the beginning on the swim I had not a good start and a lot of fighting in the water, and it was really chaos, but on the bike we were one big group, and so yeah, I had a really good position, so yeah, I hoped for a good run, but in the end that it's the win I just could have hoped for, and that really means a lot.
Was it a planned move in advance to attack on the first lap of the run, or did you just go on the spot?
I just go on the spot. I had a good start, and I just tried to keep the pace high from the beginning, and yeah, that it worked so good. It was a bit surprising, and then I know that Vicky was coming from behind. I was like, okay, this will be a tough third round, and yeah, and then I just gave everything I had and wasn't so happy that it worked out.
And what was going through your mind when Vicky closed on you towards the end of the race?
Yeah, I thought this will be a really hard battle in the end, and yeah, I think we both really struggled from the heat, and so yeah, it was for both of us, I think, pretty hard.
You know, coming into this race, I hadn't actually been feeling very good in training. You know, I put some really great training together early this year, and I felt like I was ready to deliver a performance at the beginning of the season, and for one reason or another I couldn't get it out, and I fortunately had to come to Tiszaújváros. I was hoping to go to Hamburg, so this in a lot of ways was sort of a backup option for me. So to come and put 2 races together like I did yesterday and today to finish off second, like, the win is always what you aim for, but I couldn't have done any more, so I'm really delighted with that.
You had a super run split in the semi-final yesterday to help you catch the breakaway. Do you think that cost you a little bit today?
Yeah, it's really hard to know. I played it tactically quite different to everyone yesterday. I didn't make the split out of the swim, but I decided that because I've not been swimming super well in racing, I wanted to have a great start position today. So it was worth my while putting in a bit more effort in the run yesterday. So it paid off in that I made the split today, but at the same time maybe I missed a little bit from my legs today in the run. But you know, that's the game you have to play, and I think I'd do it again if I had to.
And a silver medal is the best result you've had since your maternity comeback. You must be thrilled.
It's my first podium, I think, since early 2020. So on my first sort of well-earned podium. I was on the podium in Chile end of last year, but that was as a result of disqualification. So this is my first kind of really earned podium, and I'm delighted to join the number of women who are coming back from maternity leave who've also put themselves on the podium. And it's actually even more special because Tiszaújváros was my first proper World Cup when I turned professional in 2009, and it's been 15 years since I've been here at this race, and this is going to be my final year in racing as well. It might even be my last World Cup. I might do one more, but it's quite a nice sort of full circle moment to come back here and finish on the podium.
Это очень неожиданно, долгожданно и прям нужная медаль в нужное время.
She is very happy. It's incredible for her because 2 years without racing is a wonderful, amazing feeling.
And it looked like it was very close with you and Erika Ackerland on the run. How did you feel about the final lap when you were so close together?
Я делала все как обычно, просто немного ускорилась в конце.
She do everything possible, but she have very good sprint finish and try to beat her in sprint finish.
Well, congratulations on your first medal.
Just a summary of the results: Annika Koch, Vicky Holland, Diana Isakova edging out a big margin actually by Erika Ackerland in the end. And a bit further down, Summer Rapport ran through fastest of that group. And there we just go with our last page there. Charlotte McShane coming in 21st, and it was Sarah Village kind of rounding out that top one with Anai Alvarez getting lapped out.